People think technology is distracting.
Mm-hmm.
And they, I've had so many people come up to me, hold their cell phones up to my face and go, these things are ruining our lives. And I go, no, these things are not ruining our life. This is a beautiful piece of technology. What's ruining your life is your inability to exercise discipline around the use of it, right? So the idea is that you use technology as opposed to technology uses you. In the same way, if you look at your whole day, how do we integrate the practice of concentration throughout everything that we do? So for me, I'm not a big exercise person, go to the gym or run a little bit, but I'm not like working out 4 or 5 hours a day. But I still believe that it's important to exercise. So like I travel a lot, and whenever I'm at the airport, I never take the escalator. I always take the staircase. Even if I'm carrying a bag, I'll be the only person walking up 3 flights of stairs while the whole escalator is packed with people. So I'm using opportunities throughout the day to practice.
Give me some ideas of how you would practice concentration throughout the day. Or is there something that you can teach where people can take it and apply it themselves through this podcast?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing, I tell people the one way I tell people to practice concentration is doing one thing at a time. So giving someone your undivided attention is a great way to practice concentration. So every day I speak with my wife, right? It's something that happens every day. So she has her own business, I have my own business. So during an average work day, I might speak with her maybe for about 2 hours, a little bit in the morning. During the day, she might call me, I might chat with her, and then she comes home at night. We have dinner together, we make dinner, we hang out, we talk. So just say an hour and a half to 2 hours. Every time I speak with my wife, I give her my undivided attention. If my awareness drifts away, I bring my awareness back to her, and I stay focused on that conversation. So now I'm practicing concentration for 2 hours a day, right? So now I've got 2 hours, I've clocked in 2 hours a day. So after a week, what am I getting better at? Concentration, right? So I'm leveraging the things that are happening throughout the day as opportunities to practice concentration. There are 2 things we need to understand. There's the mind and there's awareness. And you're not the mind, rather you're pure awareness moving through different areas of the mind. So your mind doesn't move, rather your awareness is moving through the mind. So when I'm speaking with my wife, if I'm getting distracted, it's my awareness is leaving her and it's moving to a different area of the mind. I might be thinking about a client or a contract I need to sign or a business opportunity, and then I bring my awareness back to her. We keep chatting for a minute, and then my awareness drifts away again, and I bring my awareness back. So I define concentration as my ability to keep my awareness on one thing for an extended period of time until I can consciously choose to move it to another thing. So if I'm speaking with you, I give you my undivided attention, I keep my awareness on you. Right? Every time it drifts away, I bring it back. It drifts away, I bring it back, and I train myself. And I think that's where, people in today's world, I feel so many people are lazy and they want a quick fix. Because everything that's being sold to them is a quick fix. You only need to do so many hours before you get certified as a yoga teacher. You can come to the weekend course to enlightenment. Mm-hmm. There's a 1-week seminar to understand mind-body connection. I'm like, what BS? Right? Obviously, I'm not ripped like you guys, but if I wanted to look like you guys, can you give me a weekend course to be like this?
No.
How long would it take?
2 weekend courses. We're selling them at mindpumpmedia.com. Just buy our program.
$2.99, but if you use this code.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right, 100%.
Right? And people don't want to do the work. Everybody wants a quick fix. I came back from Europe last week. I had some events in London and Munich and Hamburg. Common question people ask. So can you share with me a really quick way on how I can learn to concentrate? Why is it always a quick way?
Yeah.
I have up 10 years of my life learning this, and the way my teacher taught me was just like wax on, wax off, just one little thing at a time. A relentless practice. You understand how it works. Then you learn how to practice it, and then you just repeat that mindlessly till it becomes numb. And you never ever say, I know. And everybody I teach, the one thing they all say to me, they look at me, okay, I got it. I'm like, bullshit, you got it. Because whenever my teacher taught me, I just listened and I just shut up and I said, no, if he's telling me again, there's a reason why he's telling me again, because I don't understand it yet. Because if he knew I understood it, he wouldn't tell it to me again. and there's something deeper to learn, and you just keep learning the same thing, and everybody wants new things, right? They're tired. It's like, I'm done with part 1. Can you give me part 2? What's next? And people on this crazy learning, it becomes like cocaine. Everybody wants to learn, but nobody practices anything. And they think by learning something, you're actually maturing or becoming wiser. No, learning doesn't make you wiser if you don't implement anything that you're learning. So people are going from one course to another, to another, to another. And then people in my industry, the self-help industry, that's how they make the money, right? You keep selling your shit over and over again. But you cannot attain self-awareness if you can't concentrate. How can I be able to introspect and see what my problems are if I can't even stay focused on me for longer than 5 seconds? The only way I know there's a problem, if I can sit here long enough, I can look at this room and I go, that thing seems like it's going to fall off the ceiling. Because I can stay concentrated long enough to observe it. So people can't see the problems within themselves because they can't stay observant long enough. They can't stay focused long enough. So for me, the first thing you want to learn is concentration, because if you can't concentrate, you can't solve problems. You can't be better at what you do. How can you be a great athlete? How can you be a great singer, an artist, a scientist, a doctor, if you can't stay focused long enough to gain mastery over the topic? Mind works exactly the same way. Anything that the mind basically has no ability to tell what's good for you and what's not good for you. If the mind actually knew, we'd all be perfect. I'd wake up in the morning, my mind would tell me meditate for an hour, do yoga, run, work out, eat this breakfast, then sit down for 2 hours or 1 hour, then stretch, then do this. No, my mind just is like, do whatever the hell you want to do. Right? You like fries? Go ahead and eat it. Have another beer. The mind doesn't know, right? So whatever we tell our mind, whatever we repeat over and over in our mind creates patterns. And these patterns, when they're repeated, whether they're repeated consciously or unconsciously, become deeply ingrained and become extremely difficult to break. Right?
And studies will show that you will create new pathways in the brain, and the more you use them, the stronger they become. And when you stop using them, they start to dissipate. So, this has all been proven now, and these are old teachings, but these have all been proven now through physiology.
Right, and that's why in monk school, it's all about rituals. Right, it's all about rituals. From the moment we wake up till the moment we go to sleep, it's ritual. And you can tell in a very traditional monastery like the one I went to, from what the monk is doing, what time of the day it is.
What does that coaching look like? Like if you were coaching me, I'm the distracted kid, I come into the monastery, you're my guru, I have a hard time concentrating. What are some of the steps you're taking me with to help me with that?
I would say the first thing is I would teach you how the mind works. We wouldn't even learn how to concentrate. I need you to really understand how the mind works. Once you know the mechanics of it, then you can actually start to control it. But if you don't know the mechanics of how the mind works, then it becomes really difficult. And I don't know anything about the brain. The mind is what our training is. So if you ask me about the prefrontal cortex or the whatever, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you ask me about the mind, that's my training, right? So understanding the mind is so crucial. So even I have a course that's coming out and a book that's coming out purely on concentration. The first big chunk of the book is about the mind, understanding awareness in the mind, really getting people to understand that. Because if you don't understand that, then you can't concentrate. Right. I think the biggest thing we have to understand is that if we don't learn something and we don't learn it well, and we don't practice it, we're not going to become good at it. If you look at these athletes, like professional tennis players, professional soccer players, how much time have they spent learning that craft?
A lot.
If you look at people like Nadal or some of these soccer players, Messi and people like that, some of them are born with amazing skills, but others, you spend hours and hours with the ball every day. But how much time is actually spent actually learning the art of concentration? Right? So, and I think what you were saying is that, you can practice these things physically and the body then learns it.